Welcome to Sweethearts or Rivals. I'm Charla.
I'm Justin.
What are we going to talk about today?
A couple of things. First of all is our Learn to Play series.
Yes,
Yep.
we did X-Wing.
Yep.
It was quite popular.
It was. It was. A lot of people commented on it, seemed to like it, watched a lot of it, gave us scenarios to try.
Yeah. And what it was Justin read the rules and then recorded live.
Yep.
He taught me how to play it.
Yeah.
And then we play through the scenarios.
And we kind of learned as we went a little bit more of how things worked, and some people helped out kind of correcting us and
because
strategy tips.
Basically, neither one of us knew how to play the game.
Yeah. It's not a game we own. It was lent to us by a friend of ours, Ian. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. We were going to do one more scenario to wrap it up, but we'd had it borrowed for quite some time.
Half a year.
Yeah. And so we felt a little bit bad about that. So, and honestly, as fun as it was, I felt after the last scenario that really I was kind of done.
I had played it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah.
But those kind of games probably aren't my favorite kind of games.
Yeah. They're not our...
But I'm glad I tried it because it's a very interesting, technical, fun game. And the Star Wars theme helps a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the only regret about that, the only thing that was kind of bummer is I would have really liked to have played with
the big ships.
Yeah, with the Millennium Falcon and the Slave One.
But some of the funnest part about playing that game for me is quoting the movie.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's not even part of the game.
So we've wrapped up that particular series of learning how to play. So we thought it was pretty popular. Maybe it was because of the game, not so much the series, but
still,
we thought we'd put it out there to see if anyone would like us to do another one, and a couple of ideas of which we could do.
Right. So what kind of games do we have that would fit that kind of format?
We have 3 games currently in our collection that we could do a kind of learn how to play and learn. We basically learn like the base game in one episode and then learn a little bit more advanced rules in the next one, and so on and so forth. So the 3 games we have is, first of all, we have the Alhambra Big Box.
Right.
We know how to play Alhambra. We played Alhambra a lot. But we have the Big Box, and other than 1 or 2 little tiny expansions, we have not really delved into
any of the other expansions. Yeah.
And it comes with like 5 expansions, and each expansion has like 3 or 4 modules.
Okay.
So that's a lot.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, like it like the term Big Box I think was invented for Alhambra Big Box, because it's a huge box.
Yeah.
Ton of game in there. So that would make a great series where we could show the base game off, and then each episode delve into one of the 5.
A different, module.
And show each modules, and then maybe wrap it up with, here's the different mix of modules that we found the funnest.
Right.
Kind of our own.
Or just throw them all in.
Or all of them, yeah.
That sounds crazy. Yeah. We're crazy.
So that'd be one.
Yep.
Another one is, and we just got this last night. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We got Tuscany for viticulture.
Right.
And which is especially awesome because looking into the rule book where the credits are, my name's in there.
Yeah, so we're not able to review Tuscany.
No.
No.
We'll probably have like a playthrough and some stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll definitely do a playthrough for sure. Yep. But if it's one of our Learn to Play series, it'll be a series of playthroughs.
Yep. Yeah. The great thing with Tuscany is you play viticulture, the base game, and then there are a whole bunch of modules, and they're organized by tier, so tier 1, 2, and 3. So you play a base game, and whoever wins chooses what module is going to be unlocked from tier 1 to play in the next game, sort of legacy style.
Cool.
And once you get all of the tier 1 unlocked, then you move up to the tier 2, and then you can go into the tier 3. So that would make a great kind of learn to play style where we start with the base, and then at the end of it we unlock certain ones.
Yeah. And for people that don't know, why is your name in the rule book?
Yes. It's true. About 1.5 years ago we had viticulture, and Jamie Stegmeyer from Stonemeyer Games was running a game design contest.
Yeah.
So you could design a mini expansion or a module for viticulture and send it to him, and all the entries became property of Stonemeyer Games, but the best one won $2,000. And at the end of that summer, I found out I won.
It's awesome. It was very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So There's a little, if you have Tuscany, there's a little section of the map of the expanded board that shows all the different provinces around Tuscany and putting your stars on there. Yeah, I helped with that.
Yeah. I sent one in too.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, it was with cheese and wine.
Yeah.
And I had sheep, goats, and cows.
Yep.
So kind of a variant on that is one of the last tiers. So that's exciting too.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
Very cute.
You can definitely see like inspiration in there from you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yeah. So that would be, because we can't really review it. That would feel weird.
It would feel awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. And the way that it's structured in that legacy style, that would also make a really good learn to play style with several quick videos.
So that would be our second. One of the options.
One of the options. Yeah. Finally, we have another really big box game that has kind of base play and then expands to bigger and bigger play, and that is Myth.
Right.
And it would be an interesting one to do because one of the big criticisms of Myth is that the rules are very difficult and kind of vague.
Yeah.
I don't find them too bad, mostly because it's you got to look at it almost like it's not really a board game. It's half a board game, half a role-playing game.
Right. And you're very familiar with role-playing games. So.
Yeah, I've been running and designing role-playing games since I was like 12. So it's sometimes there's vague and you have to come up with like a house rule, I guess, if you will. But I don't find it that bad.
Right.
To go through the rules, and the game itself is really cool. Start off with some characters and then
play them through.
Yeah. So those are kind of the three that when we were looking at our games, like which could we do, those are the three that jumped out at us that would make a good learn to play series.
Right.
I'll try to put a link down in the description below that goes to our collection on Board Game Geek, and if you look through that and see any that you think would make a good series, like, tell us.
Yep. For sure.
So
what's the second thing we wanted to talk about today?
The second thing we wanted to do was compare and contrast videos.
We just posted our Robinson Crusoe and Castaways compare and contrast video.
Yes.
Yesterday.
Yep.
It's doing quite well.
Well, we released 7 videos all at once.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Which is a lot. But it's the overview, playthrough, and review of Robinson Crusoe, and then the same thing, overview, playthrough, review of Castaways, and then the compare and contrast video.
Right.
And it kind of makes sense to watch them in order, and from
but
the amount.
Have to.
Well, you don't have to, but again, it kind of makes sense to do that.
Yeah.
But looking at the views after 24 hours, the compare and contrast has twice as many views as all the other videos.
Yeah.
So it seems to be quite popular. So we thought maybe we could do another compare and contrast.
Yeah, it was fun too. It's just a lot to edit because I wanted to have them all at the same time so you could annotate them and have all the links.
Yeah.
So it took quite a while to edit, but
that was a lot of annotating.
I am up for the challenge if you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a little bit tricky because we do make it a point to get games that are not
too similar.
Yeah. So we try to find unique games to fill out our collection so we don't have, because I don't know, I don't see the point of having 2 games that are almost identical.
Yeah, that being said, we don't own Castaways and Robinson Crusoe. We borrowed Robinson Crusoe from our friends to be able to do the video. So.
Yeah. So looking at some of our games and games that we could borrow, we have a couple of possibilities that we could do a compare and contrast. We don't own Pandemic, but we own The Cure.
Right.
And we could borrow Pandemic. So Pandemic, the board game, and Pandemic, the dice game.
Right. Compare
and contrast. We have King of Tokyo.
Right. We don't have King of New York.
But we could borrow it.
Right.
So we can compare and contrast the two.
Right.
We do own Caverna, and thanks to the math trade we just participated in, we own Agricola. So we definitely could do a compare and contrast of those two.
That would be another heavy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, long playthroughs.
Yeah.
But it would be a fun one to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We have Carcassonne, of course, the game that drew us into the whole board game phenomena. We just got in a math trade first edition of Carcassonne the City, which is all wood components. We could definitely compare and contrast those two.
Definitely, for sure, because they're similar, but yet very different.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Some smaller one that we have is Fairy Tale, which is a drafting game. And we also have Sushi Go, which is also a drafting game. So we could compare and contrast the two.
Yes.
Yep.
They're not totally similar, but I was surprised when I played them after I played them both how similar they were.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all.
Well, I think, anyway, we won't do the compare and contrast right now, but yeah, they're similar enough that we could definitely compare and contrast them.
It wouldn't have been one that I would have thought to put on the list originally, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, you're true. And then we also have the Firefly board game, and we also have Zaya, which are both in-space sandboxy style.
Kind of games.
Yeah, so that would be a good compare and contrast one. Big ones, but we could do that as well. So, again, down in the comments below, let us know if you'd like to see one over the other. And again, there'll be a link to our collection if you see anything you'd like us to compare and contrast.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about 2 different games, let us know and we could always compare and contrast. We're not, in our compare and contrast, and we mentioned this in our first video, we're not saying this is the one to get.
No, we're not saying which one, is better.
Yeah.
I mean, in our opinion, we can say that, but that's really for you guys to decide for yourselves.
Yeah. So we try to as objectively as possible look at how are they the same, how are they different, that kind of thing, so you can make up your own minds.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can put a link in this video to the Robinson Crusoe one if you want to see the format we kind of did for that one.
Yeah, we can do that right now.
It's like magic.
I know. Post-editing magic. All right.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Just one last thing.
One last thing.
We are going to be committing ourselves to Twitch Tuesdays.
Yep.
Now, I work every other Tuesday till 7, so it's every other Tuesday from that.
Yep.
Starting with tonight.
Tonight, yep.
January, what's the date today?
27th.
January the 27th.
Yep.
So every second Tuesday, unless my schedule changes, from January the 27th on, we commit to doing live games on Twitch.
Yep, Twitch Tuesdays.
We don't have any games picked for tonight, but we'll just play whatever we feel like.
Yep. We have a group of gamers that live in the area, several groups actually, and we've already put out kind of an invite out there saying, you know, maybe not this first one, but in future Twitch Tuesdays, we'll put out, this is the game we're going to play, here's how many players we have open, anyone interested in joining us, saying so now, so we might actually have some friends come over.
Yeah, like first come, first serve.
Yeah, and so instead of just 2-player games, we can open up to some bigger games.
Yeah.
Unedited, totally live on our Twitch channel.
Right, they're only going to be archived on the Twitch channel.
Yeah.
Because,
there's
to edit them and bring them over to YouTube is
a lot
of extra work. And we want to keep making content for the channel. So if I had to do that too, it would be just Twitch stuff.
Yeah. So that'll be something we're committing to it. We've got it in writing, a lot of legal documentation. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't sign anything.
I know. I was like, I grabbed your hand at night and just like, there, sign that.
Oh no,
No.
It wouldn't work.
No, but we are committed to trying to do that. We were on Twitch for a while at the beginning of our channel last year and just kind of faded out, and we really want to get back into it.
Right. It was fun.
Yeah, it was. Cool. So,
those are our big announcements.
Big announcements. If you would like to see a game played live on one of our Twitch Tuesdays, definitely let us know.
Right.
And
we have a request actually already for a review.
Yep.
Which we are going to do.
Yes.
I promise. It's just we had so many other things planned ahead that it's the next thing on our list of things to do.
Yep.
So you can look forward to that.
Yeah. And I think that's it.
I think so.
Right on. This is us talking about random things.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Have a good day.
We'll see you next time.
Later.